Welcome to FreakinAndy against Zaryab in the fastest chaos 1v1 hyper random deathmatch tournament. And we do have some water, but it's more little ponds than being connected. So I don't think you can travel over here. That water probably giving some decent control, but Andy docking the left side. And I don't think that will be that useful. Land is connected, outside water, probably really nice to go for cannon gains here. And Vietnamese also get heavy demo, I think Sicilians get heavy demo as well. So both civs are decent on water in these settings. And a lot of food units always helpful, so elephants on water maps, not the shabbiest thing. They're actually docking two different spots as well, and I don't think these are travelable, so probably only the right side water will really matter. Zaryab kind of has to get that to defend his base and his main gold, so the emphasis here is right. Oh, ships can pass seemingly. I think I thought that ship passed, so yeah, that's good for Zaryab if he can pass here. Time for Re has passed, and he can probably not get to that one though, I think, and his ship's also not able to traverse there. So yeah, now going for the back docks, probably the more influential ones we have. Cavalier start for both players. Ones get Hauberg and the Sicilian ones don't. They are just for the rush. Following that up with the elephants, of course. And I don't see many halberdiers by FreakinAndy yet, as a castle is being built by Zaryab on the top, placing another one there as well. So Zaryab with quite a quick draw towards the middle. The market has not been used, seemingly. Andy made one, but hasn't used it yet. No market by Zaryab. Probably Sicilians also normally would want to sell wood, I think, to take that away from the Vietnamese. Andy sells food instead, though, as this is a water map, and on water maps, or at least partially a water map, right? And on water maps, usually don't want to sell wood, as you need that wood for ships, and rather want to sell food, which is opting for here as well. Needs halberdiers and siege as well against the elephants, so also costing wood on that front. So I think the food cell is the right decision. Castle is not going up, and he lost the villager forward, deletes the castle. Has got a donjon up, so both going for a little bit of control in the middle. Demos for controlling this water, but not too much action on the waters, as they aren't that big as in some similar generations, or like similar looking from the outlier that we've seen previously. Third castle in the middle now for Zaryab. Villager count, relatively even army count. I think army value mainly as well. No, and he actually also has more army value, but it's not really on land. I think he has invested more into boats, is making cannon gains, but seemingly Sicilians don't get really cannon gain. Oh, I thought they would. Making Sicilian water actually quite much worse now. At cannon gain are also okay fighting ships with the splash damage that they got added. Massive elephant army in the middle for Zaryab. Fighting for positions. Sicilians very good at that. The Donjons are kind of secondary Yasama towers, which you can build easier because your military units can build them, and they can produce, but they're not as strong, and especially worse against traps because traps hit them, while traps tend to miss all other towers. Water fight here in the south. As I said, the outside water controlling a lot. Even elite cannon gain for the Vietnamese, so their water tree maybe even better here. I think Sicilians get shipwright while Vietnamese don't, so that evens it out a bit. But unit-wise, Zaryab with the better stats on them. Huge trap fight. Zaryab loses a castle, and he not much military there to protect his siege and his towers from the battle elephant mass of Zaryab, though. And this is certainly not a bad start for Zaryab into the set. Is behind in economy, though. Sicilians obviously getting their TCs up quicker. Really helpful for setting up early economy in deathmatch games, and a reason why Andy likes Sicilians a lot and picks them here for game one. But I think his halberdier count is a bit concerning. Only 9 on the field. We need more halberdiers, and we don't see any siege weapons by him on the field to defend the elephants. I think you would play halberdier in the middle to defend the elephants, but not really seeing that. It's exactly the same resources that need to be invested in ships, and he is putting a lot of emphasis on winning the outside water, can't deny some economy here with that. And demolition ships now being produced by Zaryab as his elephants retreat in the middle. And Andy seems to stabilize a lot, has a good number of traps, lost a bit of ground here, kind of evenly sharing the middle. And it looks like insta loss on a castle there, or maybe it was deleted by Zaryab. So I think Andy, both on the outside and on the inside, gaining more control right now. And it looked really good for Zaryab a minute ago, but it is starting to look better for the Austrian champion of the last World Cup. Another fight there. Should be a decent fight for the Elephants, as we had the Sergeants mixed in there. I don't think we've seen First Crusade yet. Archivist should show up on the screen, so probably wasn't used yet. More demos being produced, but Andy's still holding on to the water control here. Can now deny the main goal somewhat, or like one of the two main goals there for Zaryab. Zaryab also attacking with cannons on this side. That's a big gold pile, even though it's only 400 per tile. That is being denied next to the shoreline there. Andy trying to get a castle up, but there are some elephants around. Killed 2 trebuchets. And a lot died here from Zaryab, as there are the bodies lying around. I don't see too much army from Andy around, so probably also a lot of deaths from him. But I think Andy is taking over the back now. Can also take the lighthouse. That is useless, but looks nice. And it will look orange very soon, probably. There is Dogs in the corner, as ever so often on these maps. And I don't think anybody's seen them yet to go for trade. Andy instead going for a lot of buildings in the middle, trying to get up a castle and a donjon there. Elephants are around though. Not too much army by the orange player. 5 Halberdiers there will likely get eaten, but Sasane's getting up there. Castles that fast. Bonus really helping here, otherwise those would have surely lost 5 to 10 villages there. Villager count being concerning for the Pakistani player. And nobody has collected relics so far. A little bit of protection, eco development here to the right side area. Losing houses to the cannon gains though, and the outside water control really doing well for Andy, as this fleet is a bit rendered useless, but can help in defense, right? When the elephants come here, maybe also demos can help. Looks like Andy deleted most of those docks though, so wanted to not overproduce in the middle by using the old dock pot here, I would think. And rather focus on the outside water. 2 trebuchets, but elephants too slow in defending them. Some Rattan archers out as well. And Zaryab likes these low eco plays, but I think it's also due to villager kills there by all the ships, and I feel like 64 is enough. Zaryab feels the same, tries to add more villagers, as we do have the little castle war in the middle here, where elephants still being kept alive well by Zaryab. Now the siege is coming for Andy, and that should change the lifespan of these elephant units significantly. Demo shots, nice at the outside. Zaryab clears Andy's fleet and will probably progress to address these ships as well. Andy trying to expand here, still nobody going for relics, even though I see quite some around on the map. Andy instead now going for the siege push in the middle, as more ships by Andy get blown up over here. Siege Ram, Cavalier, and Halberdiers streaming in. What do you think about the game so far, guys? I see 16 people here, but not much chat. See Donjons and Halberdiers trying to defend that, but the elephants are still around, and the SO mainly have been killed. Traps are working away on the castle though, only 4, I think 3 villagers remaining. 1 villager looking to repair the traps, but dying to what did he die? Was that a delete? Looked like a delete. I couldn't see anything that could kill that villager anywhere. That's like his castle, right? Probably a misclick there. Very optimistic castle by Andy on the right side. Thanks, Patata. It doesn't really give me much to talk about, but I'm glad you're here. Now your food production is going well. Always keep on that shift queuing. Also with your food. Because then you get 5 times the meals in. Let's go. Elephants jumping onto the trebuchets. Onto the trebuchets onto the trebuchets as well. Other units traveling onto these trebuchets as it is Zaryab sieging now, but it loses the trap narrowly as the elephants are there to protect it. Onager now by the Vietnamese as well. It's looking good for Andy pop-wise. 50 pop ahead. Gets that castle up. Sicilians, man. And a Donjon rush over here, but a quick reaction by Zaryab as well with a trebuchet outside water control for FreakinAndy again, though the demo's only cleared there for a little bit. And gold control seems to be an issue for the Pakistani. This gold can't be reached. Yeah, a lot of the resources here around the outside shoreline. These ones around the inside shoreline, but also has a cannon gain by FreakinAndy. So FreakinAndy seems to have ships or cannon gains everywhere where Zaryab can take gold. I don't even know where the 2 people are that are still on gold. It's able to take some stone over here for now. Can maybe sell that for gold. Has 1 trebuchet over here. Kills a donjon, but trebuchet is exposed now, and the elephants are just under the castle. Cleared a few habitats there, but no siege units for this castle. Yo, Mr. Fluffy Bunny. Your friend Andy likes FreakinAndy. You mean Happy the Andy? Yeah, I see him in Andy's chat a lot. I think I've seen him in yours. Oh boy, Zaryab doesn't like this trap by Andy. Rip. And that was half of his gold stone. And he can't access much. That was actually a really big moment, this one castle sniping the trap there. Aye. That was like Zaryab had a decent army again, tried to come back onto the middle, but one pretty random ass locking trebuchet denying that. Cedron just now also shooting all the Rattans, and I feel like Zaryab is crumbling here. The elephants are okay against Cavaliers, but there's also Cavaliers in the mix hiding behind the elephants, and I think all these will be cleared. And yeah, Zaryab, as I kind of thought already, calls the GG. And Andy takes the first game victory. Sicilians against Vietnamese, even though on the water side Vietnamese looked a bit better than I thought, I think is a decent matchup at the minimum for Sicilians. We didn't see any bombard cannons, right? For Zaryab. Also, siege launchers very late, only by FreakinAndy though, so bombard cannons maybe not really that necessary. But the outside water play, really important here, denied all of these goals, and he kind of going for strong goal control play there from both water and land, and Zaryab's middle push not able to go through. So FreakinAndy takes frickin' game number 1. These are the remaining civs. Why don't I have my own stream open? What is this? I have anti-stream open. Thought I might have time for predictions, but they are already in game 2. Do we have mods? We have Patata, but he's cooking. My browser's being slow. Alright, prediction for game 2 is up, and I think game 2 itself is up as well. It is. Picked the wrong thing. Didn't want to watch a meadow match. Oh boy, we have a classic matchup from RM centered around Gem Skulls at our hands. Because they see Malians against Britons. What do you like more, guys? Tell me in chat or tell it with your points on the prediction tab there. Because we are into game number 2, Zaryab with the Britons. As if enjoyed by many German DMers and British DMers, I think. I don't know if you enjoy them that much if you're from Pakistan. Quite some fights over there against the British. A lot of stables there for FreakinAndy, and camels will be double countered though. Yeah, it isn't camels, it is Cavalier with extra attack for the Austrian. Trying to rush into the base of Zaryab. Very close generation. Both civs are getting treadmill cranes, so both with a decent start here. Only 1 kill so far for FreakinAndy. So good defense by Zaryab in the first 2 minutes, because the Britons aren't really known for rushing. There's no rushing units. He's making 6 ranges and 6 wrecks. So a big build order for the Briton. Trying to go for Arbalest, as on this close generation you probably can't go for longbows immediately. Trying to get this castle up though. Malians at decent, kind of normally having a lack of range units at the start. A lot of people in the tournament we saw so far added cav archers with them for that reason, which I never really liked, but I think on this close of a generation it's actually a consideration to add cav archers, because he could have stopped that castle then probably. Villager there is at 3 HP, but gets the castle up. Really important position for Zaryab, and if he does get a good Abmas and a good Helbe mount and werewolf traps out, I could see the Britons pushing the base here. Has to be worried of Siege just coming out, but it's a bombard cannon start for Andy, probably instantly attempting to clear the castle here. And the armies, Cavalier swarming around, is looking good. KD looking good for Andy as well, even though he's on the offense. Britain's units are cheap, so you kind of need to get a lot of them out before you can take effective fights. Champions also in the mix, therefore tanking the arrow fire of the Arbalists, and also killing the Halberdiers, of course. Malian Champion's probably really useful here against Britons, kind of countering both the units right now, and then we have the Cavalier for dealing the damage that the Champions can't really deal with. And I think it's starting to look good for Andy. He has the siege, he has the power units on the field, and the Britons really needed a further map there to shine, I think, or Andy needed to have a worse start. But I think Zaryab kind of did everything he could do with defending his villagers, didn't lose too many at the start, but then kind of got overwhelmed, and 10 shots there. And there is 1 SO now. I think the bombard cannons are already doing the work though, taking out the starting TC of Zaryab, who is on 0 TC gaming mode right now, trying to add more castles. Has got 3 up. No trebuchets for the Briton though to counter trap here. Would be easy with werewolf, but we would need to get them out. Yeah, Malians together so, and I think in DM, if you have enough meat shield, it isn't that as hard as an RM to land an onager shot against the British ARPs and longbows. Even though the SO are getting out range massively, they eventually find shots, right? Because it's just so much to micro, and yeah, there is some decent shots and a great SO shot, and Zaryab loses the only thing he had resembling of an army mass somewhere, and I was hoping for a close set, but Andy doesn't want to let that happen. And takes a pretty quick 2-0 here. I think Zaryab could have thought of reeing this map, probably too close next to the Malians there. Which is like good if the Britons can survive, but can they, right? They SO are actually okay in DM, yes. Yeah, not great. I mean, it's no siege engineer SO, right? But I think they have tons of situations, and normally in close to every matchup with Mayans you want to make them. You don't want to make too many of them, but sprinkle a few in, you kind of always want to. And not a Civ that wants to go for an SO death ball necessarily, but you always still with Mayans kind of want to have 3-4 with your army. Zaryab's not giving up. Is at 10 villagers though and losing a lot of cards that's probably warming up a bit more. It isn't game 1, but it's looking very solid for Andy. Andy adding a lot of eco behind that as well. No castles in the eco, but Britons aren't known for the raiding though, and Tigui TCs to help out against raids as well. Andy like 12 TC booming? Yeah, signature Andy move as well. I think it's really good. Like the more DMs, it's not 12. It is 16 TC boom. Even the forward TCs, I mean, your TCs are also mini castles, right? We have Tigui. Tigui got buffed, and Tigui in deathmatch automatically researched. 16 is kind of like 12. It is 4 more. 1 more potential of 4. Just a more complicated way of saying 4 more. And wait, is Zaryab stabilizing here? Andy has kind of retreated. Andy out of army. Oh boy. Running around. Did I underestimate Britons here? Like, Andy's out of food. Zaryab cleared everything. Zaryab still has an army. Zaryab is gonna deny this castle. Yes, Zaryab doesn't have an eco, but he's Britons. Do you need an eco? You only need longbows, which don't cost anything. And some meat shield, which does cost a bit of things, but you usually don't spend your food, and your meat shield will mainly cost food. So Britons are very cheap in DM. That is kind of making them good. And Zaryab's doing great job denying the castle, but not a great job saving his arms from onager shots. Massive shots by a surprise SO from the south there by FreakinAndy, and I think we just saw why Malian SO are worth it, even against Britons. Because that is certainly a good moment for FreakinAndy. And might hinder Zaryab from getting this, but it's still 82-27 army. And will take a bit until the actually existing economy for FreakinAndy gets into effect here. Needs probably some more good shots to delay the army by Zaryab there from pushing back onto the map. Army isn't too strong though, that's just help. And Lightcav here, a bit idling in the left side. He's still trying to get pop space as well after losing so many castles at the start. Pop blocked at 100, which is currently hindering Zaryab from adding eco. Otter Jinx, that's what I'm here for. 3 relics behind this already. Yeah, like Andy he couldn't kill, but he took all the advantages he could, right? He took the full eco, he took the map control, has kind of populated 2/3 of the map here already, and he took the relics that were on set map 1 here. Where's the other monastery? Shouldn't it be easy to find? Is it white and every other building isn't? How am I not finding it? Oh, because it's tier forward. Well, Zaryab can still easily get his hands on these relics. Just needs a trebuchet and 2 monks. Ah no, he needs more because it's Tigui. Oh, the trebuchet could also take out the TCAs. Zaryab trying to push in the middle now. Zetnus out again. Trap fight should be won by Zaryab, but his traps aren't firing at the opponent's traps. Traps do kill a castle though. Probably has to fire on the SO. Now, not too many longbows around. Longbows trying to focus that down. Will it get a shot off? It gets a shot off because Zaryab stopped shooting at it. I think if he doesn't micro these longbows, the traps survive against the onager there. But yeah, over microing can be a thing, and Andy now even sending in a Cavalier Mass to get rid of the next 2 traps. And the longbow mass just isn't there, just losing so many 2 SO shots earlier. Those jinxed SO shots by me. And now 4 on wood, 27 on gold. Zaryab is out of gold. So his moment where he had army but no economy kind of has passed. And it's like Zaryab has nothing right now. Sending the Lightcav in to deny the eco development. But there's nothing to deny. There's not a lot of things to raid. But it will just give Andy more pop space as Andy is on 150 Villagers. Coco Ayo likes the million chances. Raids now by Andy on the left as well. Also very open map, right? Close start, but then transitioning into very open land map here. That is great, I think, for the more mobile Civ, which is the Malians who do win out here. And Andy takes the 2-0 lead. Brutal push at the start, then great defense by Zaryab to survive that. But Andy had enough advantages from the start already. Amazing eco development, 16 TCs, quickly going to 140 villagers, and the relics behind that as well. So even though there was a little moment where Zaryab looked like he could come back, it was kind of ended by 2 onager shots, and by Andy profiting on the early kills there. In great fashion. 557 kills to 328. Andy looking hot on the KD as well, which isn't too surprising, right? Main units, more gold heavy, more expensive, and way stronger. Britain's India, more like massive armies of cheap units. So, surprising from our perspective, but Britons and Goths sharing some features as the Britons and the Vietnamese have gone down here to the Sicilians and the Malians. Quite early picks by FreakinAndy. A bit later picks for Zaryab, so still has his first picks. Even though I don't think his first picks are good. But he apparently thinks otherwise. So we do have the 2-0. Should be on screen now. Oh boy. And Zaryab is playing a Civ I don't really like. If we could open predictions for game 3, then let's go. I see Coco's here, so I think I have to do it myself. Only the closing, because Coco likes to bet, but I'm fine with just closing predictions. Zaryab's Civ draft doesn't look good. I fully agree, yeah. I really don't like it. And let's go into game 3. We've got Zaryab on the Franks. A Civ that sadly has fallen off a lot, I think. He's not playing the Italians, so maybe it's a 3-0. I said he would win one game with Italians here. Yeah, now he has to win with Franks, right? Otherwise, he can't even get to play Italians. The Civ he's won so astonishingly much with yet, but Franks maybe not the worst matchup against Portuguese. At least they have good cav, at least they have bombard cannons themselves with siege engineers. Portuguese with the faster start building wise though. Franks with chivalry though, probably can still raid, but how's that 20 pop? Oh boy, Zaryab's house was taken off and now only starts to build a house. Zaryab's terribly housed, and that kind of means he can't rush. And he looked so strong in the other sets, but maybe a bit nervous against Andy also. Psychologically, third game after 2-0, not the easiest situation. I think Civ draft kind of also a moment that was killing him. Nice quick wall by Andy on that villager, going for 3 castles, so potentially an organ gun, help, bombard cannon, death ball, the kind of typical Portuguese death ball here in development. A champion paladin for Zaryab, but yeah, he can't really rush anymore as he was so housed at the start. Trying to go for early relics and get an advantage this way, but I see only 2 relics on the map and each very close to the player, so won't be as profitable to them, I suppose. Now we would with Italians over Bengalis, yeah, would have loved to see that, but not really looking like it. I mean, obviously we have differences, right? 2-minute prediction. What? Ah, no, somebody else did it. Yeah, Goku likes the Portuguese chances and did the bet while I was already resigning to doing it. But okay. Bet is up, and the Paladins are finding some nice engagements here. I feel like the Death Ball from Andy not really together. Units alone a lot. Champions in the mix, but the organ guns are behind there, and as long as the organ guns are there, champions can't really engage, but the Paladins could maybe loop around here. Resource bank still looking nice for Zaryab. Zaryab used to be, or is very known for his army control, something that he can use here. I feel like, especially in these messy start fights now, Andy having to retreat to his base, giving Zaryab some map control, and I think decent fights for Zaryab there, jumping onto the organ guns, throwing X-Men there as a DPS line against the infantry behind as well. I don't mind that at all. Paladins finding some good engagements. This isn't looking too shabby for Zaryab in game 3 to the start with. I think we're transitioning to a longer game. If the game goes too long, won't be great for Franks. And he is quite built up, but his first army gets cleared. Not much siege on the way for Zaryab, though. I don't think he can end the game here, but there was certainly some good minutes for him, clearing Andy's first push there and having a big army advantage. Or maybe a good time to also bet some points on the Pakistani player. Castles MVP. Yeah, 3 castles at the front of her base kind of means you can't really push in. I don't mind him still taking the fight, taking out organ guns, still has more army on the field. But the edge fight isn't great for Zed. Leech also gone. Yeah, kind of even right now. Portuguese with Red Milk Crane should have the quicker eco development overall, though. Building TCs, building buildings faster. Oh boy, Andy going for the smartest walls in the game. Where's Gleip? 3 universities from the Portuguese. Text already researched, but it does surely look beautiful. Most people want with seed workshops, but I think universities have more length this way, right? So does bridge more space here. Yeah, BlackRock says, or Watson says, no, it's BlackRock, it's not Black Forest, goddammit. You're not thinking of Matze as well. But it's not a forward university. Yeah, but it's like 6, right? 7 universities. Both 4x4. So university is just a cooler way to place a seed workshop there. Seed workshop has more utility. But university is cooler. Knowledge is power, right? And if you hide behind knowledge, then you're FreakinAndy. Yeah. Can research post-im text now really good. Like civilization, we have the, or at least in old civilizations, we had the future technologies, right? Those are the ones that can be researched. Now it is 200 pop for both, I want to say. Zaryab isn't there yet, though. But a bit of posturing on both sides. The middle is very open, which makes it hard to engage for the Portuguese. So I think that is giving Franks a chance. The problem is they only have light cap. I mean, same for ports, I guess. Franks do have siege engineers, yeah, but you see no unique tech on those cannons, which is making the Portuguese ones better. X-Men kind of good at sniping siege. As we can see here, 3 X-Men take out a bombard cannon. Very nice trade for Zaryab. And he has his army together now, though. Has halberdiers, organ guns, bombard cannons, and some traps. So only 1 bombard cannon, but 9 more in production. And I think the death ball might start here for the Austrian player in the orange. Throwing X-Men are good as long as the organ guns aren't close, and the organ guns don't really want to go under the castle. Not as great against buildings anymore. Castle gets taken out though, but and he's kind of wasting all his helps. Means he has no meat shield on the organ guns, and the Paladins are there out of nowhere to jump on the organs. Probably should like loop some around as well to trap them. Anti-microing back the organs a lot, which is surprisingly working. With the current pathing, it's not working well enough. Paladins taking some oddball fights there, and Zaryab clears up army, clears up Andy's army again. So Zaryab really giving himself a nice chance here. I think a bit of a misplay by Andy to send the helps in alone, but also a beautiful move by Andy to send the Paladins around. Once again, 50 to 20 army, and he's still with a great defensive position, right? All these university walls, 3 castles there in the build order, and the onagers out on the field. I think onager cuts might help the Franks a lot here to profit on their mobility. Cut at least that southern woodline there. Well, Andy is trying to do it for him with villagers. Onagers should be okay, yeah. And Paladins are okay too. Onagers, the big problem is the bombard cannons, right? Bombard cannons with arquebuses. Andy, yeah, Zaryab can also afford a lot of Paladins still. 6k gold in the bank. How big are the gold piles here? 1,200. Okay, big main goals. That is good news for Franks. Portuguese, well, if you need gold, you can make Vitoria. And there's the cut. There is the overchop. I think it's the overchop rather than the cut. And Paladins are going in. And he now placing siege workshops. Not as confident anymore to outsmart his opponent. Now needs some more heavy hitting stuff than just some intellectualism. Even though nothing hits harder than a good argument, of course. But walls everything here with buildings. Completely legal. Probably has a law faculty of these as well. There you are, Alistair. The way to play with Portuguese is just show up with a lot of paladins and traps and take out castles. But it does resemble the army comp that Zaryab has right now. He has only been showing up with paladins here, and he's got walled in. But I don't think the siege workshop does have too much HP. And yeah, they're kind of okay sitting here, taking out some organs. That castle will likely not go up. Bombard cannon out of nowhere by the Frank. Kills the villager. More paladins fighting back the organ gun. Some castles were lost here at the front for Zaryab. 65 farms, 13 on gold. Beautiful economy for the Pakistani though. And really exposed wood chopping here by Andy, as he doesn't want to chop open his base again. And the backwoods, not that gigantic. Probably wants to spare them for later. Think it could be a wood control game. But a wood control game, Portuguese should win, right? In any case. Yeah, but he's not pushing hard enough for your liking. Yeah. He needs to clear the army and then have traps, right? But he's not really cleared the army twice without having siege. This is really hard to play as Franks. I don't want to give Zaryab any form of hard time. But if he's just defending, eventually the Portuguese are probably gonna overrun him, right? He is raiding the woodcutters in north. Cleared all that wood operation that I was talking about. And he's just taking out forward castle after forward castle and falling back. Yeah, I agree. And he could just chill, right? Both have 2 relics. And Portuguese have a win condition. It's the dumbest win condition in the game, but they have victorious. Traps shooting a bomber cannon. And here comes another big engagement, another paladin mass driving in, and another time the throwing axemen are clearing the halberdiers, and nothing is left to protect the organ guns. And how much does an organ gun cost? I actually don't know. I kind of want to compare the cost of organ guns and paladins here a bit, as both have a good gold bank. Electric got fixed, yeah. I saw it yesterday. I lost my mods without knowing why. And it was apparently a hotfix that just fixed the relic bug. Sadly, not the pathing. 50 gold? Ooh, that's quite cheap then. Is it? Isn't it more? Like 50 gold? 80-0? No. 80-70? Yeah, I think that's more like it. So it's basically the same gold cost as a paladin, roughly. Nobody seems to be sure, so I'm actually gonna look it up. It is 80-70. I should have just trusted Amon's, even though he said, if I recall correctly. Gold discount? Yeah, does that apply? Yeah, maybe it's a bit less then. Zaryab still trying to get that castle up. Paladins clumping up a bit there for the shots. By the way, recent change that I really like is, boy, probably should watch the onager shots first. The onager doing great work on the organs here, flattening 5-6 organs every time. So the onager addition that people in chat called for now for Zaryab, working out quite well, I have to say. Gets the castle up, gets some repairs done as well, but there is a bombard cannon still, so ends up being somewhat even of a fight. Both still have an army. I think overall it was a better fight resource-wise for Zaryab though. Both now 2k gold, and he's still with more on gold though. And I wanted to say how I love the new animation of the projectiles. I think the organ guns look way cooler that way. Yes, it's less realistic. Yes, bullets don't actually do that in the air, but it's really useful to be able to see what you're shooting, and it's nice to see how they are kind of working game-wise, like where they're firing at, where they're hitting. So I like it. Alistair just can't get his chat comment right. And bombard cannon's shooting the paladins a bit there. It's like, goddamn, well, yeah, it looks like it. And I don't know, I think also, don't know if the bombard cannon micro, yeah, his back micro was really nice, but against that onager, he missed micro a bit, or Andy did, Zaryab did it pretty well. For some reason, the Andy Zary thing is really hard as well. Oh, bombard cannons taking out the onagers. Bombard cannon v bombard cannon. Not really what Frank's for the fight. Oh boy, I think Zaryab's army is getting reduced, but actually it says he has more. And now finally some onager cutting for some more raiding. And there is a Fatoria on the field by Andy. So Andy actually made a Fatoria, and there I'm saying it is exceptional that you should build Fatorias as Cameron against Chris. Our Fatoria DM better now would be sad days. Very good banks for both on food and wood. But the death ball from Andy pushing forward now. And not many paladins anymore as the gold is running out. And I think without gold, I don't know if Franks have a comp here. I think you guys were right, and Zaryab kind of the window for him to do something, do some heavy pushing, was when he still could make paladins. And didn't really do that then, couldn't really do that then. I think he had those 2 clear up moments where he could have done something. But didn't have the siege there. And now you can way easier keep the organ guns alive than other stuff now without paladins. And the organ guns kind of kill everything that doesn't cost gold. One with Victorias instead of 5x5. Yeah, genius strat. Yeah, that is a 6x6, right? Or it's also 5x5. I don't. How do I not know that? I feel like I should know that. But is the Wonder the same size of there's a Fatoria, or is the Wonder bigger? Wonder should be bigger. Zaryab is trying to get in through the university here, but Andy obviously through to all of his universities. Playing smart. and having an organ gun behind. X-Men plus Onager is the best comp. Yeah, but do the Onagers reach? Like, bombard cannons, I feel like, take out the Onagers, and the organ guns take out the X-Men, so might be the best low gold comp versus hordes, but it doesn't win. More than 10 Onagers? Yeah, but how is Zaryab affording that? I don't know if they don't die, the X-Men are doing quite some damage actually to the organ guns. I still think. I like the organ guns more, but if they're shooting at like light cav running in front, maybe. Yeah, maybe like light cav, distraction for the organ guns, then X-Men, and then Onagers behind. So you have like 3 layers of distraction for the bombard cannons as well. It feels really tough though. Only some editor buildings like the cathedralistic statistics. Flex dimension is infinity. Well, one does get killed. Pretty regularly though in our free rods. It is too tough because ports are broken. I think Zaryab really played this well though. Multiple clear ups there for him. But yeah, the combination of Andy being OP and his Sith draft being OP didn't really help Zaryab to make this set closer. But I think 2 games were like, I don't know, I think the games were relatively close. I don't think Zaryab has to be ashamed here. I don't think Andy was ever uncomfortable in any game, but they were like decent length. There were chances to win for Zaryab, and he really didn't give him the greatest chances with this Sith draft. KD looking very well for Mr. Zaryab, but yeah, just without gold, without paladins, matchup significantly harder, so it went on kind of exactly till the point where Zaryab starts to run out of gold, and then the Portuguese dominated.